Hello, we at STDI welcome all in attendance to our substitute teacher training. We hope to provide you with fine-tuning with your outlook, teaching style, and review possible scenarios for the future. What is your school doing this year for instruction and substitute teaching? Is it online? In person? A blend? No subs? In the chat box, tell us what is your district doing this year. So we thank you for the feedback on that. It's nice seeing the variety across the districts. We're certainly unsure about what's to come in the future. Perhaps we're apprehensive for returning to campus. Health concerns us. The possibility of getting exposed to the virus, a valid fear. Maybe student misbehavior, pranks. All of us are familiar with in-person students. Now if we're going to teach on Zoom, on Microsoft Teams, how could we deal with that? In the chat box, let us brainstorm and share some ideas of what could possibly happen in the classroom online. Those are definitely some possibilities, and we'll discuss how to prevent those a little later. Does technology scare you? Using educational technology or simply having to use new strategies scare you? Let us brainstorm in the chat of some possible strategies we could use in the classroom. Now, maybe we're unsure about what to do, what to think, but it's okay, because no matter what comes, we're prepared for anything. How so? How can we do this? Let us take a look at the following chart called the Eisenhower Matrix. It has 4 quadrants with priority organization levels. It's simple in its use. The first one is do it. Anything that is important to us, the job of the student, and needs to be completed now, we do it. In contrast, if it's important but not urgent, decide when you can do it. What could be important yet urgent? Maybe a student makes a joke, causes the class to laugh. Regaining the control of the classroom is urgent, but is it important to make a big deal about the laughter? Well, that's for you to delegate. Lastly, if it's not important, not urgent, delete it, forget it. Now, we'll take a look at 2 invaluable skills that can guide our usage of this matrix. Flexibility, the quality of modifying change and adapting with ease. And positive interaction, promoting experiences that are upbuilding, productive, and constructive. These 2 skills support growth mindset. And growth mindset is the belief that anything can be achieved through dedication and hard work. Lastly, egos to be put away. If a person is reluctant to change, rigid in mentality, the classroom will be a difficult environment for you. Now let us review some scenarios. What if there are no assignments in your classroom? Well, it's good to review and prepare before we're assigned a classroom, whether in person or virtual. Maybe you want to share a story with the class, teach them one thing, use a lesson that we created, or play an instructional activity. Regardless, have a plan. Any ideas in the chat? What about unfocused students? Well, simply this involves our willingness to adapt. How so? Take some time to inform yourselves of your grade level's respective culture. Are you familiar with the apps they enjoy? TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, maybe the video games like Fortnite or Among Us. How would this help? Simply by mentioning these topics, students will pay attention to you for a moment. And in that moment, you grab their attention and tie whatever modern culture you're referencing to whatever it is that you're teaching. What about unforeseen change? Maybe procedures adjust one day to the next. A good tip to help us adapt is to think like a kid in the sense of creativity, always adjusting so that way we can promote positive interaction, creativity, high instruction, and safety. What if we're teaching virtually? Well, maybe we have connection issues. Remember, if your connection is bad, the platform will inform you. But it's best to use a wired connection, close any extra tabs if you are experiencing latency or lag, and reminders to make sure your camera and mic is enabled for the app. By being familiar with your platform, you can best handle student pranks or funny business. But the best way to deal with this is to prevent them with positive interaction and interest from the beginning of class. Share something interesting with them. Stir up their excitement with whatever activity you had planned. The more likely that they're engaged, the less likely they're going to do something to you. But if something is occurring, don't be afraid to use your host privileges for mute or force turn off camera. But on the computer, there are a variety of things that you can do. You can use Kahoot, Nearpod, Wikifind, Minecraft Education Edition, Club Penguin, Scribble.io. There's endless possibilities. Lastly, it is to remember your role as a substitute teacher. Before we conclude, we'll take a look at the following word, LMS, which stands for Learning Management System. If you do see this, all it means is the system that the virtual school is using. It could be Blackboard, Canvas, or most commonly Google Classroom, but most virtual schools are using these types of LMS to submit either attendance and grades. We probably as subs won't be using them too much, but here so that we're all familiar with the wording. But that concludes today's training. We invite you to visit our website at stdi.org/today-only/ to review points from this presentation and to review other trainings that you may have missed. We do invite you all to attend our next training, Friday, August 28th, with the entitlement, How to Become an Online Tutor. So yes, thank you for joining and have a wonderful day.